Hello, everyone, and thanks for listening. I ran across a new article, and this article is in the Forbes magazine, and it is entitled Tennessee Has Fined Residents Nearly $100,000 Just for Braiding Hair. And I was shocked when I saw that. And it's in the Forbes magazine. And I guess because it's so popular, it's a booming business, and everybody, it doesn't matter what nationality, it's just a popular style and people love to wear braids, and it sort of like gives you a break from having to comb and brush your hair, and you have a nice style. You can wear it conservatively, or you can wear it more flashy, or you can wear it more hip hop-ish, whatever your intentions of your style. If you decide to wear it because it's just a way to keep your hair out of your face, or you just want something different, and it's fun. And so a lot of people are really like paying money. I guess it's just really a big booming business. And then there are some styles that take a lot of hours, take a lot of effort, and a lot of work to do, and it lasts a long while. So in the African American community, braids are like just second nature. It's a part of our culture. And so the article goes on to read about how they find people for not having a license. So Nick Silva is a contributor. It's for this article. He goes on to say that ever since she was a little girl, Fantu Defu, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name right. It's Dif Defu. So I'm just going to say Fatu or Fatu. Fatu has been braiding hair since she was a little girl. So Anne, for almost 2 decades, Fatu has turned that tradition into a vocation by working professionally as a licensed natural hair stylist in Tennessee. So I never did any other job but braiding hair my whole life, she said. I cannot recall a time when I did not know how. But in recent years, Tennessee has forced Fatu to pay a staggering 16 do not have a government license to braid hair. Nor is she alone. After examining meeting minutes and disciplinary actions for the Tennessee Board of Cosmetology and Barber Examiners, the Institute for Justice has identified nearly $100,000 in fines levied against dozens of braiders and more than 30 different natural hair care shops and salons since 2009. So all of the violations were from unlicensed or unlicensed braiding. None were triggered by any health or sanitation violations. So typically, the board will issue a $1,000 civil penalty for every instance of performing natural hair care services for clients without a license it encounters. In addition to fining braiders who work out of their homes or unlicensed salons, the board has targeted licensed shops like Fatu's. So for Fatu, those heavy fines have been very stressful on her. Under a payment plan for her most recent violation, she has paid over $830 a month to the state, a burden expense she struggles to cover, on top of providing her own personal expenses for her two children, dealing with her divorce, and sending remittances to support her family back to Senegal. So, driven by those firsthand experience, Fatu has become the most outspoken voice for reform. Together with the Institute for Justice and the Beacon Center, Fatu has testified in favor of a bill that would eliminate the state's license for natural hairstylists and the board's basis for finding braiders. We can create more employment if this bill passes. So, with a rich heritage dating back from thousands of years, natural hairstyles, which are part of the African American culture, of course, which shun any use of any potential harsh chemicals, have grown increasingly popular in African American and immigrant communities. So, today, Braiders are free to work without a license in almost half the country. But in Tennessee, only licensed natural hairstylists or hair care stylists may earn a living for braiding, twisting, wrapping, weaving, extending, or locking hair. So obtaining that license can be quite an ordeal. So braiders must complete 300 hours of coursework, which often means sacrificing an equivalent of working almost 2 months for full time. With, you're not really making pay. You're working at school, but you're probably not going to get the full pay for it as if you were working out of your house or in a little shop somewhere. Across the entire state, only three schools offer the courses, charging anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 for tuition. So, with her years of experience, completing classes required for a state license is mostly a waste of time, Fatu recall. We don't need 300 hours to know how to wash, clip, and comb hair. So the article goes on to say that many of the braiders she has hired or encountered feel the same way, and they are not going to learn something they already know, Fatu explained. So why would we pay thousands of dollars to take a test for something that we already know? As a result, the state license requirement crackdowns have made it extraordinarily difficult for entrepreneurs like Fatu to find workers who have the proper authorization to braid. So according to the fiscal note published in February, Tennessee only has 156 licensed natural hair care stylists. Compare that to Mississippi, which has roughly the same size Black population, but over 16 times as many braiders legally working in the state. Unlike its neighbor, Mississippi does not license natural hair care providers. So instead, prompted by the lawsuit from the Institute for Justice, the state merely requires braiders to register with the Department of Health and pay a $25 fee. Simple, right? But thanks to the streamlined system in 2016, more than 2,600 braiders have registered in Mississippi, which is a good thing. So they basically flocked to Mississippi to get out from under the Tennessee law. So unsurprisingly, braiders have flocked to Mississippi in search of better opportunity. Fatu says she has struggled to find braiders and hire braiders since they can easily cross the state lines and work without fear, which is explainable and understandable. Fortunately, lawmakers may soon untangle the state's mess of licensing red tape. On behalf of Governor Bill Haslam, Representative David Hogg, and Senator Mark Norris have sponsored an HB 1809 and SB 2233, which will repeal the state license for natural hair care stylists. In an unusual twist, the Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance, which includes the state's Board of Cosmetology and Barber Examiners, is also backing this bill, that's good. That's hopeful. So when the bill was heard by the House Business and Utility Subcommittee last month, the department's own Deputy Commissioner, Brian McCormick, even criticized the license requirements and costs as overly burdensome. Representatives from the department denied repeated requests for comment. Even more ironically, some of the bill's loudest opponents have actually come from licensed natural hair care stylists who claim that the license is necessary to protect the public. Yet, according to the testimony by McCormick, there have been only 2 health and safety complaints against natural hair care stylists since 2010. In fact, the department has opened more than 200 administrative complaints for unlicensed activity. Licensees currently in the department. Those findings are further borne out of 2016 report from the Institute for Justice, which analyzed complaints filed against braiders in the state jurisdiction. So it's talking about here that have a separate license for natural hair care across even 7 years to 10 jurisdictions. The 9 complaints with health and safety issues were received for unlicensed braiders, the report concluded. Further, none of the complaints alleging consumer harm were verified by licensed boards. Since braiding is a safe practice, states are increasingly eliminating licensing requirements for natural hair care. So today, braiders are free to work without a license in 23 states, with almost half of those states' reforms enacted in the past 4 years alone. Eight other states besides Tennessee are currently considering liberalization of braiding hair, of course. Law in Louisiana, Minnesota, Ohio, licensure in New Jersey, Missouri, Rhode Island, and Vermont. So that's the article in and of itself. So I just thought it was really interesting because braiding is like gotten really popular now, I guess to the point to where it always was popular, I believe in the Black community is always was the thing to do. It's just really stress free hairstyle, carefree, stylish. You can wear them conservative, you can wear them more hip hopish, you can wear them fancy, you can wear them up, down, all kinds of different styles. There's so much creativity, and on YouTube they have so many videos, on Pinterest, on a lot of the social media. You have people that'll show you and model the different styles, and some people will even request certain people to braid their hair, and it's just a booming industry. And now it's taken off so that even people from other cultures have really caught on to wanting to wear different braids, different styles, and things like that, and it looks good on most people. So I guess now they're trying to capitalize on it, so to the point so that it's gotten so popular that they fine people. You know, I don't know where that came from, but I'll be glad when they do kind of let up on people because, like, especially in rural areas or places where it's hard to find braiders, um, those are the areas that you would want to not have something like that because people are like looking, like if they're in an area and they're like looking for hair care products and different styles, that may be like the thing that they wear mostly. And it's like taking all of that away from someone. It's like making it harder for you to find someone who can style your hair. And it's your own culture. So, but even people who are like, maybe you just want to wear something different, it's like you got to look forever and a day, like who's gonna braid my hair? If you're finding everybody, you're turning them away, then they will start to go underground. That's what's gonna happen. That's what I would think that they would do. They would do like old school. That's how, from what braid hair, you had a neighbor or a cousin or, friends at school that knew somebody by word of mouth that $20. They tell you what to get, what you tell them what style, and if they had the gift of braiding, it was just second nature, and you're not using any harsh chemicals or anything like that. And so it was what you did. That's how I recall it. But now it's gotten very competitive. So we see it here. So anyway, if you like this article, if you have any comments or anything you want to share, thanks for listening and like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.